Bass Club Chicago, and I'm here today with Kevin Muschel of Fender, and we're just going to go over some new products. We recently just got the new Fender Antiguas. They come in 4-string jazzes and 4-string Ps, and why don't you tell us a little bit about this bass, Kevin?
These are fun. This is one of those finishes that's kind of like a classic Fender finish, and it's a love-hate relationship on this because it kind of has a very 70s vibe to it. And a lot of people are like, oh, I love that. That's the coolest looking thing I've ever seen. Or, oh my gosh, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And we personally think that that's wonderful because, you know, it starts a conversation. You got this on?
Right.
You're either the baddest dude in town or someone's looking at you going, why is he playing that? And it's a great conversation starter.
Absolutely, absolutely. I see it's got a maple neck.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's got the bullet truss rod at the headstock here on the jazzes, and then you've got the heel truss rod adjustment on the Ps. Updated bridge.
Yep, and it's a traditional Fender Jazz Bass from that period. And the price point is, this is a great price point for a working musician. I mean, if you wanted to add a jazz bass to your collection that had a cool collectability, an Antigua-finish is like, how can you beat that? We don't do this but every 10 years. I can't remember the last time we did the basses in this finish. We tend to do tellies and strats because that's our bread and butter.
Yeah, these list at $1049 and street at $749 with a gig bag. Now, are these just standard stock Fender pickups, or are they doing something special?
These would be, my understanding is these are the pickups that we use in the Classic Series stuff. Okay. So they're Alnico magnet, and they're wound to give you that kind of 70s vibe.
Awesome.
You know, so it's going to give you a fat, rich, thick thing. I mean, these are Fender all the way. So if you're into that Fender Jazz Bass thing from the 70s, this is going to give you a lot of that. So
are these, I know these are kind of a limited production. Yeah. Is it just for the year? Is there a certain number?
There's a number. My understanding is it's a 250-piece count. Don't hold me on that, but I think it's 250.
Okay. And is it 250
of each?
Of each? Okay.
And when they're gone, they're gone. So this is one of those things where it's come and get them. Something like this, it keeps them special if you don't make too many. You know,
sure.
You don't want to overdo this. This is kind of a cool thing when we bring something like this back. You want to, I mean, look at that. That's a P bass that screams, I'm a cool, funky P bass.
Yeah, I had both of them plugged in yesterday when they arrived yesterday, and definitely very fat sounding, a lot of clarity, a lot of articulation, and I'll definitely go through a little bit of demo later on in the video so you guys can get a better idea of what these basses sound like. They're Mexican-made, special edition stamp on the back of the headstock. Great basses. You also recently had the limited run American Standards and the satin finishes too, which are a really nice bass as well. So
another interesting tidbit I should add to this conversation is, at this price point, most of the time when you look at a bass, it's made overseas somewhere.
Right.
We make these in our own factory. This is Fender employees working for Fender factories. It's not coming in on a container from Asia. It's something we make.
I know we also have the Fender Selects that are just starting to ship, I believe.
Yes. I'll kind of give the folks a little skinny on these. We looked at our brand and said, what we're not doing right now is kind of a flagship product, one step above like an American Deluxe, that says what we are, which is that P bass or that jazz bass with those basic feature sets. You know,
sure.
No active electronics,
right.
But yet we want to make something that really is a flagship for what we can do. You know, because we're capable of doing anything in our factories.
Oh, sure. And I think Fender is most certainly more known for the vintage passive tone and that traditional Fender Jazz or Fender P-bass sound. So I think it makes sense to continue with that heritage of something that's passive yet definitely kicks it up a notch in a few other features. These clearly have the flame top. There's even some flame in the neck, quarter sawn neck.
That's a big one. A quarter sawn one-piece maple neck is a big thing on a bass. And
right.
You know you're not going to have neck issues when you look at that. You look at it and go, that's in it for the long haul.
Right, and then they got the string through the body, which is nice, and you've got a Select badge on the back of the headstock, and these are USA-made basses.
Yes.
And then I think you were saying there's something a little unique about the pickups on this thing?
The pickups are all unique. None of these USA Selects, because there's also a jazz bass, have a copycat Me Too off-the-line pickup. It's actually a pickup that was wound and designed to bring out that P-bass tone even more than a normal P-bass pickup. It's got growl to spare.
Cool.
And they really do sound good. This one comes to the house. You know, that's how it works in Fenderland. We introduce something new and it shows up at my house, which is kind of a nice thing to have happen.
I wish they would just send Fender basses to my house.
The only bad side is I don't get to keep it. I have to sell it. But a double A, these flame tops, I mean, they're really lovely flame maple tops.
Right. It's really nice. They're not very heavy at all.
No, the weight spec is part of it too. These can't be heavy.
They notched out the neck heel so you can do the truss rod adjustment. Some Fenders don't have that, and it's nice that these do have that, so you can tweak the neck.
You know what I forgot, Jody? I forgot the critical thing.
Uh-oh.
This is nitrocellulose lacquer. The Nitrile Finish is kind of considered the holy grail finish because it's thin and toneful.
Right.
You know, you start running into something like this, it's thin, and what it's going to do over time is it's going to soak into the grain, it's going to crack, it's going to check, it's going to yellow, it's going to age.
Right.
It's not a layer of plastic over the instrument. It's kind of like this, it's a furniture-grade, organic, old-school finish on this instrument that's going to do nothing but get better over time.
Right, and then you can have your natural relic job instead of spending a premium on it.
Yeah, it's going to do it over time, because that isn't like you know, these Antiguas, these are durable. This instrument is a durable beast. It's gonna, that finish will look like that for a long time.
Right.
Whereas that is gonna age, and it's gonna look like a piece of art in time.
Yeah,
you know, it's gonna look like
back here. Now these are also a limited run. Is it another just for the year?
You got it. You nailed it. It's gonna be a 1 year long run on these. These are gonna be in our line for this year, this fiscal year, and then at the end of the year we're gonna do a last call and say, if you don't have them on order, it's going to be over. And then next year, we're going to change them up. We're going to keep this USA Select thing going, but next year, don't know what the boys have planned. The guys and the marketing guys are already right now cobbling up some kind of next generation. And it'll probably be something a little different from these, but it'll have the same theme. You know, lacquer, heirloom quality, because that's the other thing. This thing comes with a mighty deluxe case. You know, the case is a different color. It has the poodle plush red interior. You may want to throw in a little video of that.
Yeah, I've got some pictures of that. I'll definitely throw into the video. And then it looks like you can string these through the back here, also through the body.
I'll talk about this bridge a little bit, because this bridge is a unique thing that we did. When we redid the American standards a few years ago, we came up with what we call our high mass vintage bridge. And essentially what it is this bridge has got more metal. And these are a two-piece bridge with, this is actually a piece of chrome-plated brass. And this is a high mass bridge, so we've got that quality of high mass, which it helps in the mid-range characteristics more than bass. But it makes it a little bit punchier in the mid-range. And so this is kind of like our souped-up bridge.
Cool. And then now these are just available in 4 strings, right?
Yep, 4s only. I wish there was a 5, but maybe next year.
Yeah, I've had a couple questions about the Antiguas if they were available in 5s.
I would love that if this was in a 5, but you know, they're kind of, we're sticking to our heritage on these, which is 4s.
Which makes sense. Yeah, and then that's kind of a little bit of a breakdown on the new Fender Selects that'll be shipping soon. We've already got the Antiguas in stock. They arrived yesterday. And we're always excited for Fender stuff. I know Fender's got they just released the new Bassman.
Yes.
I don't have them yet, but we've got them on order, and they should be coming out. But I think there's 3 different variations.
Well, here's what we got. It's kind of an interesting project. The bass amp marketing manager, Jay Picciarello, he wanted to find out what's Fender's heritage product. If someone was going to say, I want to put my finger on what's considered historically the quintessential Fender bass amp.
Sure.
Bassman.
Bassman, obviously.
Bassman.
Right.
You know, and so we said, well, we need to make something that has the glorious silver grill, that Fender logo on that badge on it. It's got to scream fat and thick, but yet we need to be modern too. So what Jay did was he melded fat and thick. That first channel is that sit in the mix, fat, rich, thick, traditional Fender Bassman tone, all tube. But he mated it with a really nice, modern, you can overdrive it. It's got a cool silent recording mode where you can switch it all the way, and the impedance selector is on one end, and on the other end it actually has that power soak circuit built in so that you can put it on silent and record both tube preamp and output distortion.
Oh, really?
So you can push both front end and back end and record it.
And you're not
blowing it up.
Your neighbors and all that.
You can use it to record.
Right.
And all those tubes are glowing and producing their warmth and their goodness.
Right.
And that is recordable. And it's also front of house. You know, when you go front of house out of DI, you got a tube DI.
Cool. And then those are available in
300 watts.
300 watts?
Yeah, the super Bassman. I know. Okay. Super Bassman, of course. It's 300 watter.
Okay.
Big dog. Yes, it's heavy.
Right.
I mean, the transformers on the thing are like this.
Well,
but you know what? How are you going to get that mojo without
you need good transformers, and it's pretty crucial to having some killer tone. And then they've got a
100T.
The 100T.
Yep. So it's a 100 watter. So there's two of them. There's a 100 and a 300. And then the other magic is you got to have cabinets that go with them.
Right.
So we mated them with all the different configurations. Like there's a 15, there's a 410,
right.
There's an 810, of which of course is the full glory.
Right.
You get that baby going. Let the good times roll.
Sure.
So you got an 810. What else is there? The 410, the 810, the single 15.
Definitely can't wait to plug one of these Selects or Antiguas into that Bassman. I imagine it's a killer combination.
It's a monster. It really is. I mean,
certainly probably reminiscent of back in the 70s.
Yeah,
and a little before my
modern
time.
Too. Yeah, you can get it to sound modern. That second channel, you can run it clean, kick that second channel in and put hair on it.
Sure.
And it's modern hair. It's like the thing that guys want to emulate with pedals, but it's the real deal.
Yeah.
You're pushing tubes.
Right.
And you can also push output tubes.
Right.
So when you're recording this thing, if you want fat with a capital P, that's it.
Well, you know, the trend nowadays has been kind of that lightweight thing, but it's always been at the sacrifice of tone.
Yeah.
And not to say that there aren't, you know, small portable lightweight heads that don't sound great.
Yeah.
But you know, I think everybody's really you can really hear the difference once you A and B. You know, Class D head to a all tube head, and certainly you know, in small gigs, you know, the small portable thing is nice, but I think, you know, most of the consumers who come through here, when they're doing the recording or the things that are extremely important to them, they want the all tube thing because there's a warmth, a clarity and articulation that they just don't find in these smaller heads. So you know, and certainly, you know, Bassman, I don't even need to say Fender Bassman. We already know.
I know, isn't that funny?
It's like there's a Fender.
What else could it be? Isn't that funny? It's all those years of making them, and people, so many people cut their teeth out of it. It's the amazing thing.
No, I remember coming up playing. You know, I'm a pretty young guy, but I remember playing a lot of beat up old Fender stuff because there was a lot of it, and it was pretty affordable at the time. And even now, you can find a pretty beat up old Fender cabinet, but people love them, and I don't understand why. I know why they do, because they sound great. They're tanks, and they're good products. So we're always, you know, really happy at Bass Club here to carry the Fender line, and as you can see, we've got everything from the Mexican special edition Selects to master built custom shop stuff to American standards and all that stuff, and we'll do another video here kind of going through custom shop stuff and master built stuff. Well, so if anybody out there's got any questions on the Antiguas or Fender products in general, we've got the Selects that'll be shipping very soon, and they're in 4-string Ps, 4-string Jazz, just like the Antiguas. The Selects are USA, and they come with custom hardshell cases. The Antiguas come with gig bags, and we'll be having those Fender Bassmans very shortly, and I'll be sure to do a demo on those. And yeah, if you got any questions, give us a call here at Bass Club Chicago. Shoot us an email. I'd like to thank Kevin for coming out from Fender. I'm sure Kevin's here pretty regularly, and this won't be the last video that we do with him. And Fender's most certainly always going to be putting out new killer products, so we'll be doing some more videos with him in the future. And I guess that's it.
Thank you.